Caloroga Shark Media.
Hey there, I'm Johnny Mac with 5 good news stories. An 80-year-old man in Colorado. He has terminal cancer, but he received a touching surprise when dozens of classic car owners paraded past his home so he could enjoy one last car show. Max is a lifelong fan of vintage vehicles, and he no longer has the strength to go to shows in person. His granddaughter posted a request on social media asking local car enthusiasts to drive by his home in Lakewood. They figured a few cars would show up, but 50 showed up, classic vehicles in every color. Max said he couldn't believe so many people came out just for him. Nice job, everybody. In Brazil, they passed a law in honor of a famous loyal dog that will allow people to have pets buried in family cemetery plots. Bob was an orange dog who spent 10 years living next to the grave of his owner after attending the owner's funeral. Even after several attempts by the next of kin to take Bob the dog home, he would slip out and go back to the grave. Bob became a fixture at the cemetery. He got his own green doghouse. The local animal rights charity said people who were saddened by burying their loved ones would manage to smile when the little dog who was crazy about balls tried to play with them. Bob the dog died in 2021 after being hit by a car. However, the state legislator posted the Bob Law. It provides for family cats and dogs to be buried alongside their owners in family plots, provided sanitary conditions are met. One of the law's authors said anyone who's lost a pet knows it's not just an animal, it's family. A study at the Sea Mammal Research Unit at the University of St. Andrews has found that older male humpback whales are more successful at fathering calves than younger males. Why? Because they're better singers. Wow, you didn't expect that. Me neither, and I'm reading it to you. Using genetic testing and a molecular clock to estimate age from small skin samples, scientists were able to determine which males were fathering calves. As the number of whales has rebounded, older males became more common and increasingly more successful at reproduction. Researchers found that the older males were more active in singing and escorting females and were more likely to sire offspring. Male humpback whales are known for producing some of the most elaborate songs in the animal kingdom. The findings suggest that singing may improve with age and experience if you're a whale. Good news if you like peanut butter. The Institute of Physical Activity and Nutrition suggests that eating peanut butter daily may help older adults maintain lower body power as they age. Researchers studied 108 adults aged 65 and older. One group consumed 1.5 servings of peanut butter daily for 6 months. Another group used their usual diet and avoided nuts. I'd like to be in that first group, please. At the end of the study, the peanut butter group showed modest but meaningful improvements in lower body power. They performed better on the 5-times sit-to-stand test and increased their sit-to-stand muscle power, both of which are linked to everyday abilities like getting out of a chair and climbing stairs. We also learned that even though the added peanut butter contributed about 250 extra calories per day, it did not lead to weight gain. Well, if you were shopping at the antique store in East Durham, New York, and you were looking at the shelf and you're like, hey, that looks like a pretty cool owl, it was actually an owl. Customers at the marketplace thought the brown and white bird looked like a cool decoration. It was sitting next to a chicken-shaped cookie jar. And then they were like, hey, that owl's alive. They contacted the New York State Department of Environmental Conservation. Those guys showed up and found the owl asleep. They gently removed the bird and released it into a nearby wooded area. The owl flew up into a tree. It was identified as an eastern screech owl, a nocturnal species that typically nests in tree cavities, but sometimes in antique stores. And those are your 5 good news stories for today. Have a great day.